topic today is the Panama Canal, something that is getting traction on the news. A lot of things are going on in current events.
The Panama Canal isn't just a strip of water carved through Central America. It's the heartbeat of global shipping. Every year, more than 12,000 vessels pass through, carrying nearly 5% of the world's total trade. For over a century, this canal has been the shortcut that keeps our shelves stocked, our fuel supplied, and our economies humming. But today, that heartbeat is under stress, and its dominance is being questioned by a rival that never quite materialized: the Nicaragua Canal.
You know, there are two great oceans. There's the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, and how do you get ships between the two?
When Panama expanded its canal in 2016, it was hailed as a miracle of modern engineering. The $5.25 billion project added a new set of locks, widened and deepened channels, and allowed much larger ships, so-called Neo-Panamax vessels, to cross between the Atlantic and Pacific. Suddenly, ships that could carry nearly 3 times more cargo than before were able to pass through. It was a bold statement. Panama was ready to stay relevant in a world where container ships keep getting bigger.
The world's biggest shipping container company is Maersk Line. Last year, that Danish company scaled back operations in the canal in favor of other routes. That's a big deal because the company operates 600 ships that moves 300 million containers.
But expansion didn't solve everything. The Panama Canal has one Achilles heel: water. Unlike the Suez Canal, which is at sea level, Panama's canal relies on freshwater lakes to lift and lower vessels. Every single ship that transits consumes millions of gallons of fresh water. And in 2023 and 2024, a severe drought linked to El Niño hit Panama hard. Gatun Lake, the canal's main reservoir, fell to record lows. By late 2024, the Panama Canal Authority was forced to slash the number of daily ship crossings, down from 36 to as few as 22 in some weeks. Waiting times ballooned, cargo backlogs grew, shipping costs spiked.
Well, apparently it was considered the shortest route for ships between east and west for more than 100 years.
In 2025, the problem hasn't gone away. Climate scientists warn that Panama could face even more extreme weather swings in the years ahead. And while the Canal Authority has announced multi-million-dollar projects, like building a new reservoir on the Indio River and investing in water-saving basins, these fixes will take years. For now, the canal's future capacity is at the mercy of rainfall. For shipping companies and global trade, that's a dangerous vulnerability.
It's 100 years old. These are the original gates, the original lock. It was an amazing feat of engineering. It was designed by the French, finished by the Americans.
And that's where Nicaragua comes in, or at least where Nicaragua wanted to come in. For more than a century, dreamers, governments, and investors have loaded the idea of cutting a rival canal across Nicaragua. On paper, the idea is dazzling. The route would use Lake Nicaragua, one of the largest freshwater lakes in the Americas, and create a channel that could handle the largest container ships in the world, vessels far too massive for even Panama's expanded locks. It promised jobs, trade, and global attention.
The Panama Canal is an approximately 80-kilometer-long ship canal that connects Atlantic and Pacific Oceans across the Isthmus of Panama.
In 2013, a little-known Chinese billionaire, Wang Jing, announced that his company, HKND Group, had secured a 50-year concession from Nicaragua's government to finally make it happen. The project was priced at around $40 to $50 billion, one of the most ambitious construction undertakings in modern history. The Ortega government in Nicaragua sold it as the nation's ticket out of poverty, a project that would rival the Panama Canal and put Nicaragua on the map as a global shipping hub.
The Panama Canal expansion has two elements. One is the ability to put bigger ships through.
But the dream collapsed under the weight of reality. By 2017, Wang Jing's fortune had crumbled, financing dried up, and environmental protests grew louder. Scientists warned that cutting through Lake Nicaragua would devastate ecosystems, displace tens of thousands of people, and pollute the country's largest source of freshwater. Legal experts said the concession gave away too much of Nicaragua's sovereignty, and by 2024, the concession was officially revoked. The Grand Canal project was declared dead. Or was it? But just months later, in late 2024, President Daniel Ortega surprised the world by reviving the idea, this time with a twist. Instead of the original southern route through Lake Nicaragua, his government floated plans for a northern alternative using Lake Zolotlan and a deepwater port at Bluefields on the Caribbean. He argued that the project could once again attract foreign investment, possibly from China or Russia, and give Nicaragua the chance to compete with Panama. But so far, there's little evidence of serious backing. International investors remain wary, and environmental concerns are stronger than ever. For now, the Nicaragua Canal remains a dream more than a blueprint. So where does this leave us? On one hand, we have Panama, a century-old canal, expanded, modernized, but facing severe climate stress. On the other hand, we have Nicaragua, a dream canal that, despite decades of promises, has never left the drawing board. The real question isn't just which canal exists, it's who controls the choke points of global trade. And here, geopolitics is just as important as engineering. In early 2025, the US government pushed Panama to reduce Chinese influence in the canal zone. Over the past decade, Chinese companies had gained control of key port operations at either end of the canal. Washington saw that as a strategic risk. In March 2025, US giant BlackRock announced it would take control of Panama's two largest ports in a $23 billion deal, effectively displacing Chinese operators. For the US, this was about more than shipping. It was about preventing a rival power from having a foothold on one of the world's most critical arteries. At the same time, Panama is diversifying. Just this month, in September 2025, Panama launched a new interoceanic energy corridor project, including a natural gas pipeline running alongside the canal. Officials say it will strengthen the canal's role not only as a shipping passage but as an energy hub. It's a signal to the world. Even if water shortages continue to choke shipping, Panama won't give up its role as the gateway between oceans. Meanwhile, Nicaragua continues to float its canal dream. Officials there argue that with global shipping volumes projected to grow, there will eventually be room for a second canal. They point to congestion in Panama and rising shipping fees as evidence. But critics say Nicaragua is simply chasing a mirage. The financing doesn't exist, political risk is high, and climate impacts would be devastating. For now, shipping companies and global investors trust Panama, not Managua. So, who controls global trade? The answer today is still Panama. It may be strained by drought, it may face competition from overland railways or even Arctic shipping routes in the future, but it remains the only functioning canal between the Atlantic and Pacific. Its revenue makes up around 3% of Panama's GDP, and its reliability is a matter of life or death for global supply chains. But Panama's dominance is not guaranteed forever. As ships get bigger, as climate change deepens, and as geopolitical rivalries intensify, the pressure will grow. If Nicaragua, or any other country, can someday offer a viable alternative, the balance of power could shift. For now, though, the world continues to flow through one narrow ribbon of water carved through the hills and lakes of Panama more than a century ago. And maybe that's the lesson here. Global trade isn't just about technology or even economics. It's about geography, politics, and resilience. The Panama Canal expanded to meet the demands of the 21st century, but it now faces a fight against climate itself. Nicaragua dreams of rivaling it, but dreams don't move cargo. For the foreseeable future, Panama still controls the gates of global commerce.